My contacts tell me Starfleet has rejected my request for military assistance. That is regrettable, but not unexpected. The Tal Shiar are formidable opponents, as are the forces directing their action. I understand why the Federation would hesitate to engage them directly. So today I appeal to you, not as an ally in battle, but as a fellow survivor of the persecution of the Tal Shiar. My people need your help. I need your help. One of our ships was carrying a load of Thalaron weapons through the Nopada system. That ship has disappeared. There are no indications there was a battle. It is as if my ship and its cargo simply vanished. If you are reluctant to become involved, consider this. What will happen if these weapons fall into Hakiv's hands? I can provide you with the last coordinates of the vessel. Please help me. Do what you will with the weapons if they survive, but find my people.
Admiral, I'm not reading any active vessels on scanners. There is, however, a debris field nearby. It's clustered around a satellite in orbit of the planet, and the composition of the debris corresponds with ships that have gone missing in this region. I'll keep scanning, sir, but we'll need to take a closer look before I can determine if there are Thalaron weapons on one of the hulks. Admiral, I'm not detecting the vessel that Obisek sent us to find, but all the ships in this debris field show signs of being affected by the same thing. A high-frequency energy beam that overloaded all their systems. If the Reman's ship was hit by that beam, it might have crashed into the planet's surface, or gone adrift somewhere else in the system. I'm detecting energy readings from the satellite, sir. If the Reman crew detected them as well, they could have tried to use it to record a distress signal. We'll need to be closer before I can attempt an uplink with the satellite's communication array. Admiral, we're stuck. This beam is holding us like a fly in a spider's web. We've managed to keep life support and environmental systems active, but almost everything else is offline. Shields, weapons, engines, nothing works. I'm not detecting any life signs on the satellite, sir, but there is a compartment with life support. The systems operating the beam must be automated. The chief says we have enough power in the backups for one transport. Recommend we send a team over to that satellite and find a way to turn the beam off. Ready to beam over the satellite on your order, sir. Captain, the consoles here appear to control the beam that is draining power from the Nicaea, but there is a security lock preventing access. We need to find usable console. This console doesn't appear to be locked like the others. Whoever did this must not have thought that the console used for inventory was important. I think I can access a backdoor into the rest of the satellite's programs from here. I see the problem. The Romulan consoles are causing a lockout by forcing the satellite's primary processors to run through a series of equations and removing key bits of information from the answers, which causes the processors to lock up. If we can solve these equations and input the correct information directly into the console, the security lock on the satellite's controls should be released. I've downloaded the corrupted equations into this console for you to work on. Captain, we've solved the equations that were causing issues in the other consoles. Now we need to plug these correct values into the console controlling the security lock. Then we should be able to access all of the satellite's major operations. Captain, systems are coming back online all over the ship. We have weapons, shields, even the replicators are working again. Transporters are standing by, sir. We can beam you back as soon as you're ready. Where am I? Now what?
If you fail to comply with commands,
Now we fight,
you will be
or
punished.
you die. Make sure you pick up a melee weapon. All of your gear is deactivated, and I won't protect you in there.
Prisoner
Dylan.
1478, remain in the area for interrogation. Prisoners, return to holding area. Failure to comply will result in punishment.
Dylan.
What do you want?
Slamek, how did you get here after the escape from Installation 18?
I remember you as well. It seems your prison break, however well-intentioned, just ended up the same way. It's enough to make me think that I keep picking the wrong side. After escaping the installation, I joined up with a freighter. We were passing near the system when we were snared by a satellite and drifted into the planet's atmosphere. The ship crashed, and even though I activated an emergency transporter to beam several of us to the planet's surface, we were captured almost immediately by a group of soldiers. Since then, I've been stuck in this cage, watching my former crewmates fight and die in this arena. Now I'm the only one left alive. That is all I know.
You said you were transporting weapons? What happened to them?
We were transporting a shipment of Thaleron weapons. I know they are so dangerous that nobody wants to use them, but our fight is getting desperate. We needed to do something, anything, that would shift the tide of war, even if that choice was horrific. I jettisoned our cargo as we were entering the atmosphere. The weapons were completely destroyed. I've seen what Thaleron weapons are capable of firsthand. I could not allow them to contaminate a world not involved in my people's fight.
Any idea who brought you here?
I don't know who was responsible for this place. The trainers and the guards all appear to be mercenaries, without any clue about what's going on. They're paid to keep us in cages and look the other way. The night I was brought in, I was interrogated. There were bright lights in my eyes and a synthetic voice asking me questions. Whoever it was took care to conceal his identity.
Any idea what they want with us?
I have no idea what they want with us, or why they make us fight. This all seems like some sort of giant game, but there is no one in the stands to be entertained.
Are there other prisoners being forced to fight?
I think there are others. I hear other fights. If there are other prisoners, I have never been able to contact them. We are kept separated and caged, unless we are fighting. The trainers carry key cards. That's the only way I know to get through the defenses.
Do you think we can get one of those cards?
Can I trust you?
Yes.
I can see that we think the same way, friend. A few years ago, I worked as a bodyguard for a Ferengi merchant. He had a talent for acquiring latinum. And during my time with him, I learned a few things. I was able to lift a key card from one of the trainers during my interrogation. If you help me, I think we can overpower the guards and escape through the main door in the arena.
Then let's get out of here.
If they comply with commands, you will be punished. They all agree.
What is that device?
Project Decimation. New subject. Admiral Donatellis Gundersog. Captured from Nicaea. Subject's threat level is high. Risk of escape or intervention and testing is elevated. Notify Colonel Hakiv and escalate to level 6 trials. Develop matrix of alpha quadrant species. Must determine which species can be pitted against one another for maximum devastation effect to each. Tests will not be limited to sentient species, as the Iconians have technology that will allow us to effectively introduce new flora and fauna to alien worlds. Honored Master, it will take some time to complete my report, but I have a few personal observations for you that may prove useful. Please consider them when you make your plans. Humans and Klingons show the greatest proclivity toward fighting when there is no chance of victory. Breaking Vulcan's emotional control will usually render him helpless. They have no ability to process the emotions that they so zealously suppress. Bajorans will fight to the death to defend homes or loved ones, but they may reject a fight that doesn't threaten what they hold dear. Betazoids will detect betrayal almost instantly, but their telepathic senses can be overwhelmed by extreme pain or violent thoughts. This can allow an infiltrator to escape their notice. Possible wedge to break the Klingon Empire may be Gorn. More than 77% of Gorn captives chose to help another Gorn before assisting a Klingon, even if that choice resulted in the death of a Klingon. Hirogen are formidable in single combat, but their fractured society reduces their threat level significantly. I have been unable to separate a Trill symbiote from its host for separate study. 2 attempts to implant a symbiote and a host from another species have failed. Both the symbiote and the host died within hours. Undine are quite interesting. I request more time to study this race in greater detail. Captured along with a small group of Reman soldiers by Desert Patrol. Interrogation inconclusive. Recommended use of holographic conditioning. Single combat test. Subject was wounded on 4 occasions but survived all tests. Recommendation: Prisoner 1478 may be a suitable subject for team testing or alternative study. Forward data to Colonel Hakiv for evaluation. They've contacted me again. My associates have 2 tasks for me now. First is the destruction of the Remans. I understand their anger. The Remans are attempting to rise above their station. They're mindless slaves, and they need to respect their betters. Taurus was able to control them. After Starfleet captured her, the surviving Remans developed delusions of self-worth. This troublemaker who calls himself Obisek, who is he to tell them that they can be free? Does the beast of burden have the right to choose its own destiny? If the problem were not so irksome, it would be almost comical. I will present Obisek's broken corpse to the Iconians in tribute. They will reward me richly for my loyalty. The second task will take more effort. The Iconians want data. They want the species of the Alpha Quadrant tested until they break. They want to know their weaknesses and how to exploit them. They want to see their strengths and know how to destroy them. I will admit that I take no little pleasure in this task. It will be quite entertaining to make some of those self-righteous humans turn on one another, or push one of those blustering braggarts from Kronos until he begs for death. Oh, and the Vulcans. I will make Vulcans weep, and I'll savor each tear. I know of an abandoned Coliseum in the Nopata system. We can find a way to lure test subjects there. It will take time and effort, but I am confident I can do what the Iconians want. Personal log: Virinet Nimbus Conditioning. Access Virinet. These wayward settlements must be brought to heel. Each one presents a danger to Romulan hegemony and identity. We cannot afford the luxury of thinking that the Romulan people can scatter to the corners of the galaxy. When the Iconians finally arrive, all Romulans must be united in our cause. Any dissidents or intransients could cause the Iconians to see us as unreliable, and I will not allow such short-sightedness to undermine our role in the new order. Virinet was an obvious target. The planet's climate made it quite suitable for agriculture, an easy place to make a new start. It is only natural that those lacking in conviction and foresight would flee there in hopes of shirking their duty to the Romulan people as a whole. The destruction of Virinet was a necessary and proper reminder that anyone who does not share our goal is a threat to survival. It appears as whomever created this laboratory has rigged controls to an Iconian gateway. You might be able to pull some information off the logs. Access communication. Accessing most recent communication. Our master's patience wears thin, Hakiv. Time grows short, and you still have not provided all the species data they require. Are you having trouble acquiring targets? I provided you with the necessary technology to modify the satellite in the Nopata system, but your little snare is slow. What we need is more test subjects. Perhaps a small colony world would be enough. I will contact you again to work out the details. Last 5 destinations: Nopata Base Delta, Leoval, Bray 3, Dara 4, Hifar Listening Post Gamma.
Watch out. There are Romulan Scorpion fighters overhead. They're looking for us. We need to move quickly and smartly to avoid detection. I recommend we head to the east. See that mountain in the distance? My ship crashed on the other side. It may have something we can use to signal your vessel. The search for us will only get more intense the longer we stay here. We need to get away from the arena as quickly as possible. I can't go on. My injuries from the arena are too painful. We need to find a place to rest for a moment. Forgive me, my friend, but the pain... I need to rest, just for a moment. My wounds are agonizing. I fear the worm's venom may have infected me. The pain is excruciating. My vision is blurred, and my blood burns in my veins. Before we were captured, my science officer said that the local plants here have medicinal qualities. Please, I need your help. Find something to ease my suffering. I need something to disinfect my wound, something to treat my fever, and anything that will ease my pain. Thank you, my friend. I know that I would have died today if it weren't for you.
I'll see what I can find.
Thank you, my friend. I'm feeling better now. I think I can continue.
All right.
The weather isn't going to hold out for too much longer. We should look for a place to spend the night. I've noticed that there are things we can gather along the way to make our night more pleasant. The search patrols are moving on. We will not survive a night in this desert. We need to find shelter and safety. If we can scavenge provisions to create a camp, we'll have a better chance of reaching the wreckage of my ship alive.
What do we need?
The temperature is dropping. If we don't find warmth, we risk hypothermia. We can't use a phaser on the rocks here to heat them. They're too porous. We will need firewood. Look to the dry plants. If we can collect tinder, kindling, and logs, we will be able to create a fire that will last through the night. The temperature is dropping rapidly now. This cave should protect us from the elements. I've done some exploring. It looks like this cave continues. When the sun rises side of the mountain, we could save time and energy by using the passage instead of trying to find a path over the mountain. Excellent. The passage saved us hours. This could be a good day. Let's find my ship. My ship isn't far from here. I think I can make out smoke from the wreckage on the horizon.
It's still smoldering.
There she is. What much look at? She's not. The roof line space. Perhaps she killed us one last time. We should check to see if the emergency beacon survived the crash. But, in the likely event it didn't, we might be able to piece together some components to create a makeshift emergency beacon.
There's no way this vessel will ever fly again. The damage done by the fall through the planet's atmosphere is severe. If the emergency distress beacon wasn't vaporized in the crash, it's probably buried under 30 meters of rock and sand like the Singularity Drive and the cargo bays. You do, however, find a backup generator with a minuscule amount of energy left. If you had the right components, you think you could construct a makeshift subspace beacon to contact your ship. You won't be able to do anything more than transmit a few pulses to let your crew know where you are, but it should do the trick. Based on what Slimek told us about his ship, what if it was carrying something unusual?
I don't know why Slimek had this on his ship. The materials aren't of Romulan or Reman design. There are traces of protomatter and decalithium. Those are materials used to create the Hobus supernova. Be careful. You don't know who you can trust anymore.
It's a lot of dudes.
Did you think you could run? From me? I've planned this from the beginning. You fool. You were never safe. Prisoner 1478, take your place. You did your job admirably. It is good to know at least one Reman understands who is the master and who is the slave. There is nobody you can trust. Nobody. I knew that I had to break your spirit. For my revenge to be complete, I had to show you just how helpless you truly are. When the Iconians return, I shall have no more distractions. But you will not be there on that dreaded day. This tiresome game ends now. You took my eye. You subverted my plans. But at last, you will know that all your struggles were meaningless. Ready? Aim! No!
I apologize for Slamek's action. I had no idea there was a traitor in our midst. If his actions caused harm to you or your crew, forgive me. That was not my intent. However, your trip to the Nopata system was not in vain. Now you see. Now you know. Hakiv is a pawn of a greater power. The demons of air and darkness are here. You should report to your superiors. Tell them what you have seen here. Open their eyes to the dangers that lurk in the shadows.